Welcome to WealthWise headquarters. I'm your host, Kent, and I'm really glad you're turning in today. If this is your first time, welcome to a space where we explore what wealth truly means. Not just dollars and cents, but mindset, relationships, health, and purpose. Because here at WealthWise headquarters, we believe in real wealth starting in the mind. And part of growing mentally and spiritually wealthy is building the courage to think differently, to believe in yourself even when no one else does. That's why today's quote is one of my favorite, and it comes from none other than Mark Twain. So let me read it to you. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, and then success is sure. Now, that line sounds almost playful, and it is true Mark Twain fashion. It is. But beneath the humor lies a deep truth about what it actually takes to succeed. So let's start with the first word, ignorance. Now, when people hear ignorance, they think of being uninformed or foolish. But Twain wasn't talking about being uneducated. He was talking about being unaffected. It's not about being blind to the world. It's about choosing what you give attention to. See, so many people never move forward in life because they know too much about why something won't work. They've read the statistics. They've heard the failures. They've been told no one too many times. And that knowledge becomes the prison for them. Twain's version of ignorance is selective. It's about tuning out that noise that keeps you from attempting it. Think about it. If you didn't know something was impossible, you'd probably go and do it. And that's exactly how breakthroughs happen. When we're too aware of the odds, we hesitate. But when we're ignorant to the limits, we're free to experiment. And that's when success becomes possible. Now, pair that with confidence. Confidence isn't arrogance. It's not thinking you're better than everybody else. It's simply believing you have what it takes to figure it out as you go. Confidence is what keeps you moving when you don't have the answer. It's what lets you take the first step, even when you can't see the whole staircase. When you combine the two, ignorance of fear, and confidence in yourself, you become unstoppable. Because here's the truth. Knowledge alone doesn't create progress. Confidence does. Knowledge tells you what's possible. Confidence tests it. Let me give you a perfect real world example. The founder of Spanx, Sarah Blakely, the billion-dollar shapewear brand, had zero experience in fashion, design, and business when she started. Like none. She was selling fax machines door to door in Florida. And one day she got tired of basically wearing uncomfortable undergarments under her white pants and thought there has to be something better. So she took a pair of pantyhose, cut off the feet, and started experimenting. Now, most people would have stopped right there. She didn't. And she didn't even know the first thing about manufacturing or patents or building a clothing line. But that's the beauty of what Twain meant. She had just enough ignorance to not realize how difficult it would be, but just enough confidence to believe she could do it anyways. Basically, she went to her local hosiery mills, pitched the ideas, and every single one of them turned her down until one day, a factory owner called her back and said, "My daughter thinks your idea is great. Let's give it a shot." That's all it took. One person who believed because she believed first. And of course, years later, Spanx became a household name, and Sarah Blakely became the youngest self-made female billionaire in history. And she credits her success to not knowing what she wasn't supposed to do. She said, had I known how hard it would be, I might not have ever started. That's ignorance and confidence at work in real life. It's the perfect of example of how far you can go when you don't talk yourself out of trying. Now, let's bring this home. You might not be launching a $1 billion business, but maybe you got an idea, a project, a dream, a change you've been sitting on. And maybe the reason you haven't started yet is because you know too much about what could go wrong. Maybe you're waiting to feel ready. Maybe you're listening to too many opinions, friends, family, social media, and you're paralyzed by what if. But let me tell you, nobody ever feels ready. Think about it. Parents having kids, they're never ready. All right? Every person who's ever achieved something great started from someplace uncertainty. The difference is they moved anyways. They basically ignored the doubt. They believed they could figure it out. They didn't need to know the whole plan. They just needed the courage to begin. And that's what Mark Twain was getting at. It's not that success is guaranteed. It's that your odds go up dramatically when you believe you can make it happen. So whatever it is you're sitting on, let's start. Even if it's messy, even if it's small, even if people laugh. You don't need anyone to understand your vision. You just need enough ignorance to tune out the noise and enjoy confidence to take the next step. Now, there's one more layer to this. When Twain says success is sure, he doesn't mean instant or easy. He means that eventually confidence and perseverance win because they outlast everything. Most people lose the battle in their mind long before they lose in reality. The doubts, the comparisons, the what ifs, they kill more dreams than failures ever could. So stop waiting for the world to validate you. You don't need the world's permission to succeed. You just need your own. And if you can wake up every day with a little bit of ignorance towards negativity and a whole lot of confidence in your purpose, you'll start noticing something powerful. Opportunities will begin to find you because the world responds to energy and confidence is contagious. So let's go back to the quote one more time. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, and then success is sure. So ignore the limits, ignore the critics, ignore the fear that tries to talk you out of your destiny, and have confidence. Not that you're going to get it perfect, but that you'll keep going until you do. Because the truth is, you don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to take that first step. That's what every great creator, innovator, and dreamer has ever done. So, to leave you, I'm going to give you some reflection questions for you to answer. You can put them in the comments below of wherever this video is. I'd love to hear from them. So the first one is, what noise or negative voice do you need to start ignoring to move closer to your goals? 2, what's one dream or project you've delayed because you're waiting to feel ready? And what's one small action you can take today to begin? 3, how would your life change if you replaced self-doubt with just a little more confidence each day? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you and see what those 3 questions and how they reflected on you. And as I always like to leave you guys, keep smiling, because you never know whose world you're going to change. Go out there and be the rock star that you are. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you on the next podcast.